A train from Las Tunas is rolling into Holguin, with passengers enjoying the ride in true Cuban fashion, doors wide open on the local service. At Holguin station, a TGM-8 locomotive from Minas, the Ministry of Sugar, has been coupled to the train bound for Guantanamo. Since the locomotive isn't needed for sugar operations during the summer, it's put to work elsewhere on the rail network. Before the train departs for Cacocum and Guantanamo, the locomotive is turned around using a Y track just outside the station. Here we can see the Y track. It is big enough to turn locomotives and rail cars, but not full trains. The train itself is a colorful mix. A former Russian freight car now serving as a staffed express freight coach, followed by a string of vintage German Silberling passenger cars. A caboose traveling with the train is likely headed for either Cacocum or San Luis Combinado, where it will be used on freight services. Several of these German coaches were shipped to Cuba around 2003. Many of them retrofitted with openable windows and, in some cases, updated interiors. A week later, one of the regular G8 locomotives from 1954 is back on duty, pulling the same route. As we move along, we pass the old signal tower. And then we reach the Y track we saw earlier from the air. Arriving in Cacocum, the line from Holguin joins in from the left and connects with the main line that runs between Santiago de Cuba and Havana. As we approach the station, we pass the small steam locomotive La Cachita, which is on display here. It was once used at the nearby Cristino Naranjo sugar mill. This is also where the long-distance train make a stop. Right now, a train to Havana is pulling into the station. Both on board and just outside the train, there are plenty of things for sale. Here, for example, someone is selling cookies. A train from Las Tunas is arriving as well. We back into the platform while the train from Las Tunas continues on toward Holguin. Next, our locomotive, a TGM-8, runs around to the opposite end so we can continue the journey. As we depart, we pass the freight station and get a glimpse of one of the typical Cuban cabooses. Further down the line, we cross paths with a train heading to Havana, followed by a DF7 locomotive, as we continue toward San Luis and Guantanamo.